Rumors say Wang Xiaohong has cancer and may be stepping down. She no longer dares to inspect the military in person. At the Winter Olympics, young American skater Alisa Liu won admiration across the world. Beijing's representative, Eileen Gu, faced sweeping criticism. What is the real reason behind this contrast? Welcome back to Final War with Katherine Hu. Last week, we said the Zhang Yuxia case had left Xi without real backing, both in the military and inside the party. Under mounting pressure, he might have no choice but to sacrifice his closest loyalists, Cai Qi and Wang Xiaohong, to shield himself. Less than a week later, rumors emerged in Beijing. Wang Xiaohong may be stepping down as Minister of Public Security. If that is true, it would be no small development. Wang has long been one of Xi's most trusted security chiefs. So the question now is simple. What will be Wang Xiaohong's political fate? Tonight, we also bring you another story about two young athletes, both born in the United States and both of Chinese heritage, whose very different choices ultimately led to two very different outcomes. On February 12, 2026, an X account known for first reporting on Zhang Yuxia's alleged arrest posted a brief but pointed message.
Storm clouds are gathering over the Ministry of Public Security. Some celebrate, some worry.
The post was accompanied by a photograph of Wang Xiaohong. Around the same time, independent commentator Tsai Shenkun wrote on X that Wang was already serving beyond the customary retirement age. Rumors of throat cancer had circulated for years. Sources familiar with internal discussions claimed the illness was in fact bladder cancer, and that with Wang turning 70 next year, it would be unlikely for him to remain as Minister of Public Security. That same evening, state media released coverage of Wang Xiaohong speaking at a national public security conference on party discipline and integrity. The report appeared intended to signal that he remained in office, a subtle attempt to dispel the rumors. But speculation did not subside. Online commentators began suggesting that Wang could soon face trouble. Talk of his stepping down as Minister of Public Security quickly spread across overseas Chinese political circles. Across different channels, the accounts largely converged on the same explanation, that Wang Xiaohong would step down due to cancer. At the same time, well-connected political commentators began speculating about who might succeed him, turning the discussion toward possible successors. In China's political system, health has rarely been the decisive factor in determining a senior official's future. That is something insiders understand well. If the rumors are true, the explanation is unlikely to be medical. It would suggest that Xi is facing firm resistance from party elders and from within the military, and that the pressure has reached a point where he must let one of his most loyal security chiefs absorb the fallout. And if Wang can be pushed aside, the implication is hard to ignore. Cai Qi may not be far behind. At that stage, the question would no longer be whether others are affected, but when. On X, the tone of public commentary was blunt. Some wrote that they were simply waiting to see when Tsai Chi might face the same fate. Others argued that those who once helped Xi consolidate power would eventually be removed one by one. So, what about Xi himself? With the Lunar New Year approaching, there is a long-standing tradition. Before the holiday, China's top leader typically travels to visit frontline units, offering greetings in person and projecting solidarity with the rank and file. This year, that pattern changed. According to state media, on February 10th, Xi visited the Central Military Commission building and addressed troops remotely by video instead of traveling. The images were striking. Xi sat alone in a large, sparsely filled conference room wearing a dark green Mao-style jacket, speaking remotely to military units across the country. The setting felt unusually restrained, almost distant. And there is a broader context. Since the Zhang Yuxia incident more than 20 days ago, Xi has not left Beijing. That fact, more than the images themselves, has drawn attention. On February 11th, Du Wen, a former insider within the CCP system, wrote on X that the influence of Zhang Yuxia's network had not yet been fully resolved. According to his account, concerns about personal security and internal instability may be one reason Xi has chosen not to leave Beijing in recent weeks. Whether that interpretation proves accurate or not, the power struggle inside Beijing remains intense. But for now, let's pause there. Because at the very moment political tensions were unfolding behind closed doors, another story was playing out on the global stage. Two American-born athletes of Chinese heritage, who started from similar beginnings but arrived at very different outcomes. One is Eileen Gu, a freestyle skier already well known to global audiences. The other is figure skater Alisa Liu, exceptionally talented, though until recently less familiar to many outside the skating world. Both were born in the United States. Both grew up in single-parent households. Both were raised and trained in America, where they demonstrated extraordinary ability on the ice and snow. And both entered the international stage with a presence that naturally drew attention. Both recently stood on the podium at the Winter Olympics in Milan. Alisa Liu competed for the United States and won gold. Eileen Gu, representing China, suffered an unexpected fall and had to settle for silver. After the competition, the contrast between them quickly took on a life of its own. Across both Chinese and English language social media, users began repeatedly placing the two side by side. Their different life choices and the positions they had taken became the focus of intense comparison. Almost overnight, they were cast as symbolic figures, representing two sharply different value paths. Let's begin with Alisa Liu. Still in the early years of her career, she delivered one of the defining performances of this year's Winter Games. In the figure skating team event, she scored an impressive 74.90 with a near-flawless routine, an essential contribution to securing gold for the United States. After the victory, images of Alisa draped in the American flag, pointing skyward in celebration, spread rapidly across social media. Praise poured in. And almost inevitably, comparisons with Eileen Gu followed. Alisa Liu's father, Arthur Liu, was born in mainland China. More than 3 decades ago, he was a student leader in Guangzhou and took part in the pro-democracy movement of 1989. After the Tiananmen crackdown that year, he left China and eventually sought political asylum in the United States. Alysa began skating at the age of 5 and quickly stood out for her extraordinary athletic ability. At 13, she became the youngest US national champion in history and the youngest skater ever to land a triple axel in competition. At 14, she defended her title and made history again, becoming the first female figure skater to complete a quadruple Lutz combined with a triple axel. Then came an unexpected turn. At 16, after finishing 6th in her Olympic debut in Beijing, Alysa abruptly announced her retirement. What followed was even more surprising. 2 years later, in March 2024, she returned to competition. After just 9 months of training, she won gold at the 2025 World Championships in Boston, becoming the first American women's singles world champion in 19 years. That same season, she captured the Grand Prix final as well, completing a rare double triumph. So the obvious question is this: why would she walk away at 16, just as her career was accelerating? According to reporting by Fox News, Alysa experienced an unusual meeting shortly before the Beijing Winter Olympics. In early 2022, on the eve of the Games, FBI agents met with her at a Japanese restaurant and informed her that she and her family were believed to be under surveillance by individuals linked to Chinese state interests. At the time, Alysa had just set foot in her father's birthplace for the first time. She later recalled that she was stunned and struggled to process what she had been told. Despite the ongoing security concerns, Arthur Liu made a clear decision. His daughter would compete in Beijing. Newsweek quoted him as saying, "This is her once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I will not let anyone stop her. I will not let them win, and I will not let them silence me." Under enhanced security arrangements coordinated with the US Olympic Committee, Alysa completed the Games without incident. She finished 6th in the women's singles event and helped secure a bronze medal for the United States in the team competition. On February 3, 2022, The Economist published a feature examining Eileen Gu's identity choice. The article also referenced Alisa Liu. According to the report, Beijing's Winter Olympic strategy included recruiting talented athletes from abroad and fast-tracking their eligibility to compete under the Chinese flag. Before the Beijing Games, the athlete reportedly seen as the most promising candidate was not Eileen Gu, but 16-year-old Alisa Liu, who was already a 2-time US national champion. But Alysa did not switch. Her father, shaped by his own experience in 1989 and its aftermath, declined the offer, despite what was described as an extraordinarily generous proposal. Today, Alysa has set her sights on the 2026 Winter Olympics in Milan Cortina. She has not ruled out the possibility that her life story, including the unusual international episode surrounding the Beijing Games, could one day be adapted into a film. But if that story is ever told, she has suggested the focus should be on her father and his long struggle that began decades ago. That brings us to the other athlete, Eileen Gu. She too grew up in the San Francisco Bay Area and had known Alysa since childhood. By any athletic measure, she is equally accomplished. Yet despite her success, she has faced a markedly different public response. unlike the more reserved Alisa Liu, Eileen Gu had already become a central figure at the 2022 Beijing Winter Olympics. Competing for China, she won 2 gold medals and 1 silver, quickly rising to celebrity status across Chinese social media. She was widely celebrated and given the nickname Snow Princess. Almost overnight, her endorsement rates reportedly reached levels comparable to international superstars. The Olympic Games often declare that sport and politics should remain separate. In reality, the Olympic stage has never been entirely free from political meaning. Just days ago, American skier Hunter Hess publicly criticized U.S. immigration policy during a press conference. The moment quickly drew attention. Eileen Gu soon entered the discussion. In a media interview, she not only criticized the United States and its president, but did so in a way that aligned closely with Beijing's official position. The reaction was swift and intense. Across mainstream media and on X, criticism mounted rapidly. Many commentators accused Eileen Gu of applying a double standard. She was born in the United States, raised in the United States, and holds US citizenship. Yet she chose to compete under the Chinese flag. More significantly, critics pointed out that while she spoke openly about American politics, she has never publicly addressed a range of highly sensitive issues associated with Beijing, whether restrictions on religious groups, policies in Xinjiang, or the suppression of protests in Hong Kong. She has not commented on any of them. Even prominent media figures weighed in. Fox News host Laura Ingraham publicly questioned her stance. Very nice, Eileen. Now let's hear your thoughts on the Uyghurs. For many American observers, what stood out was the perception of a double standard. Critics argued that speaking critically about the United States carries little personal risk for her. Her life, career, and opportunities in America would remain intact. But criticizing Beijing would be a different matter. Any direct challenge to the Chinese authorities, they contend, could jeopardize the commercial interests and access she and her family maintain inside China. What further intensified the controversy were claims circulating online at the time. According to individuals who described themselves as familiar with the situation, Eileen Gu's success at the 2022 Beijing Winter Olympics was aided by extended access to the competition venue, allegedly allowing her to train there for more than a month before the Games. There is no independent confirmation of that claim. But critics pointed out that such advanced familiarity would not have been possible at this year's competition in Italy. Whether accurate or not, the allegation added another layer to the debate surrounding her performance. What added further tension was her explanation. After missing the gold, Eileen Gu said she felt she was carrying the weight of 2 countries, and that this burden affected her performance. The remark immediately intensified the debate. Many American commentators began questioning her nationality status and called for clarity. Under US law, dual citizenship is permitted. Under Chinese law, it is not formally recognized. Acquiring Chinese nationality would require renouncing other citizenships, which is why her representation of Team China has continued to raise questions about her legal status. You can see it clearly. 2 remarkably gifted athletes, 2 fundamentally different choices. One chose to stand where she began, even when it came at a cost. The other chose alignment that brought fame and controversy. In Milan, Alisa Liu stood at the top of the podium. Eileen Gu stood one step below. It was not only a difference in medals, it was a difference in positioning. And over time, positioning shapes consequence. As one widely shared line put it, in a world of Eileen Gu, be Alisa Liu. Get the real story behind the CCP's shifting power games and see where US-China relations are headed next. Support the vision of a new China without communism. Subscribe now and join us in bringing the truth to light.